There are poets who sing morality, and then there are those who dare to sing desire. In the history of Algerian popular poetry, one name embodies tradition, provocation, and freedom all at the same time. That name is Cheikh Abdelkader El Khaldi. A master of Melhoun poetry and a pillar of Bedoui Oranais, he sang of God and love, but also of wine, passion, and forbidden pleasures. This is the story of a man who dared to say out loud what society preferred to silence, a voice that continues to echo through the alleys of Oran and beyond. How did one man manage to navigate the treacherous waters between the sacred and the profane, becoming a legend in the process? Let's uncover the life of this extraordinary poet. Cheikh Abdelkader El Khaldi was born on April 20th, 1896, in Froha, near Mascara, Algeria. His upbringing was a blend of two worlds. He received a traditional Quranic schooling, immersing himself in the spiritual and literary foundations of his culture. At the same time, he attended a French school, where he earned a primary certificate. This dual education gave him a unique perspective, a bridge between deep-rooted tradition and the modern world. From a very young age, he was like a sponge, absorbing the rich popular poetry of Western Algeria. He studied the great masters of Melhoun, both Algerian and Moroccan, learning the intricate rules of this art form. His passion for poetry only intensified when he was exiled to Oujda, Morocco, in 1912. There, he didn't just practice his craft, he refined it, learning from renowned poets and honing his voice. This period of exile was crucial, forging the young poet into the master he was destined to become. By the 1920s, El Khaldi's name was on everyone's lips. He had returned to Algeria, and his popularity exploded. His poems weren't confined to dusty books. They were alive, circulating in the bustling cafes, vibrant festivals, and lively popular gatherings. He had an undeniable mastery of the Melhoun form, weaving together complex rhymes, striking metaphors, and clever double meanings that captivated his audiences. He knew the rules of the game inside and out. But what truly set him apart, what made him a sensation, was his rare boldness. In a society bound by strict conventions, El Khaldi wasn't afraid to push the boundaries. He used his poetry not just to entertain, but to provoke, to question, and to express the full spectrum of human experience, from the highest spiritual aspirations to the most earthly desires. This fearless approach made him more than just a poet. It made him a cultural phenomenon, a voice for the unspoken. El Khaldi's body of work is fascinating because it has two distinct faces, a duality that mirrors the complexity of the human soul. On one side, you have his religious and moral poems. These are beautiful works that celebrate faith, praise God, and explore themes of pure platonic love and timeless social values. They reflect his deep spiritual grounding and his connection to the traditional morality of his community. But then, there's the other side, a collection of provocative, daring texts that speak openly of alcohol, sensuality, and the pleasures of the flesh. These were subjects considered taboo, often forbidden by the strict Islamic morality of the time. El Khaldi didn't shy away from them. He explored passion and desire with the same poetic skill he applied to his religious verses. This incredible freedom of expression, this willingness to embrace both the sacred and the transgressive, earned him a mixed reception. He was admired by many for his honesty and courage, but he also faced sharp criticism from those who saw his work as a dangerous departure from moral norms. Among all the women who inspired his poetry, one name stands out, shining brighter than all the rest: Bakhta. She wasn't just a fleeting muse, she was an obsession, the subject of more than 50 of his poems. His verses about her are filled with a passion and a devotion that are almost mythical. His friends, hearing him speak and sing of her with such intensity, became deeply curious. Who was this incredible woman who could inspire such profound art? They begged El Khaldi to let them meet her. Eventually, he agreed. But when they finally saw Bakhta, they were stunned into silence. They found a simple woman, small in stature, with no obvious striking beauty that would match the goddess of his poems. She seemed ordinary. Sensing their confusion, and perhaps their disappointment. El Khaldi looked at his friends and spoke the words that would become his most famous quote, a line that perfectly encapsulates the nature of love and beauty. I would have to lend you my eyes so you could see the woman I love. In that single sentence, he revealed that true beauty isn't something seen, but something felt, a connection that transcends physical appearance. In the early 1940s, a new chapter began for El Khaldi. He left his native region of Mascara and moved first to El Harrach, near Algiers, before finally settling permanently in the vibrant coastal city of Oran in 1946. This move was transformative. In Oran, a cultural melting pot, his poetry found a new home and a new expression. He became one of the great voices of Bedoui Oranais, a modern urban style of music rooted in the rural poetic traditions of the region. For more than 50 years, his words and melodies helped shape the sound of modern Iranian popular music. His influence was immense and can be heard in the work of legendary artists who followed. Figures like Ahmed Wabi, Blaoui Hawari, and Ahmed Saber all drew inspiration from El Khaldi's poetic genius. He wasn't just preserving a tradition, he was actively shaping its future, infusing it with his unique blend of lyrical depth, modern sensibilities, and unapologetic honesty, cementing his place as a cornerstone of Oran's musical identity. Preserving the legacy of a popular poet whose work was often performed orally is a monumental task. Thankfully, the Diwan, or collection of poems, of Cheikh Abdelkader El Khaldi was not lost to time. Though it remains incomplete, a significant portion of his work was saved thanks to the tireless efforts of researchers dedicated to safeguarding Algerian popular poetry. They understood the cultural treasure they had in El Khaldi and worked to transcribe and archive his verses for future generations. Today, his poems continue to be studied in universities, performed by new generations of musicians, and passed down from one storyteller to another. He remains a vital figure in North African literature and music. Cheikh Abdelkader El Khaldi passed away on January 16, 1964, in Oran, the city he had made his home and whose sound he had helped define. He was laid to rest there, but his voice, his poetry, and his spirit live on. In the end, Cheikh Abdelkader El Khaldi was so much more than just a poet. He was a free voice in a time of conformity. He was a mirror held up to his society, reflecting both its virtues and its hidden desires. And he remains a foundational pillar of Algerian cultural heritage. By navigating the complex space between faith and desire, tradition and transgression, he carved out a unique and enduring legacy. He left behind a body of work that still has the power to comfort, to challenge, to disturb, and most of all, to inspire. The story of El Khaldi reminds us that art at its best is never simple, and the most powerful voices are often those that dare to embrace all of life's contradictions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of Algerian poetry, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more stories like this one.